Hey guys, this is Fear Dragon, and I am here with Anthony, aka Neeb, aka AweesomeSauce, aka AweesomeSauce. Like, what do we even call you, man?
I prefer awesome sauce, but really anything's fine with me. Neeb, that's probably the best compliment I could get, so it's pretty good too.
I'm digging it. But for those who don't know, AweesomeSauce here is actually one of the WCS observers. He did all of the WCS Challenger observing for this year after I think Blizzard realized that me, Jeff, Nate, Zombie Grub were all shit observers. We were all terrible. So we finally got AweesomeSauce here, and he also just observed BlizzCon. So how's your BlizzCon experience been? I know that you were locked in a trailer for the first day. Like, observers get the hard end of the treatment, man.
Yeah, I mean, so far it's just been a lot of work, long days, but today I'm excited to finally get around and look at everything.
Yeah. So I feel like observers, much like observers in StarCraft, oftentimes go unnoticed in a lot of ways. Like, people don't know, how does one get into observing? Because I think people see the gradual rise of like commentators or stuff, or hosts, all the people on camera. But how did you get into like the WCS Challenger observing and everything?
Blizzard was looking for somebody to observe. They asked one of my friends, and they weren't able to do it. And they asked if they had any recommendations. They recommended me, and Blizzard reached out to me from there.
Awesome. And I think you are actually not just like some super duper random person, right? Like, you actually are pretty good at StarCraft, especially cannon rushing, which I have to say is what makes us really good friends. What is your kind of experience and background in StarCraft?
I started playing in the beta. I got really interested in it when I saw my dad playing and cannon rushing people. So
Come from good genes.
yeah, so that was my kind of inspiration to start playing. I loved making people upset, so try to do any fun strategies that could get me some nice words on Battle.net. I've been playing for since beta, and I reached 5.3k MMR, so I'd like to think that I'm okay.
Yeah, that is definitely a little bit better than okay for most people's standards. So when it comes to like observing BlizzCon, I know that you're like in this trailer and everything. Tell me about like, what is that observing experience like? Like, what are the nice things that go well? What are the things that don't go well? Like, talk to me about it.
The things that go well is it's pretty nice because there's not a lot for me to do. My job is to wait for a game to start and observe. So that's pretty nice. Things that aren't so nice, kind of really long hours. I have to show up there. I think yesterday I showed up 6 or 7 hours before games started.
Yesterday was WCS day, by the way. And the day before that was rehearsal day.
Yes, and that was 10 hours, mostly me sitting there. I got to test settings, change hotkeys, and observe a couple bot games.
Oh, yeah. The fun part about... Yeah, that's always like the really interesting thing, because I had the chance to observe a WCS event once, and I was lucky enough that I also was there with Mapu and everything, and like he had done a lot of the stuff before, and also he kind of like handled a lot of the super nitty-gritty details of like setup and everything. But when I was there, it was just kind of like, so do we need to do anything? It's like, no, just... We have to do a zoom in when we do player intros, but yeah, we're here, we're just setting up. And I'm like, cool. For how long? It's like 5 or 6 hours. I'm like, oh, okay, cool. Yeah, I know that's always like a really, really weird experience. Are there any things that you would change about, I guess, how BlizzCon went, or like how either you approach things as an observer, or how you wish like Blizzard had changed like some of the setup and everything?
Yes, so things myself that I would change. I tried to kind of change it up. A friend recommended to me that I should do more zoom in, shaking, add more hype. Don't normally do that, never done it in Challenger, and it's like, I don't like doing that, but tried it out. Probably should have practiced it before deciding to do it, so going forward I don't plan on actually doing that anymore. Setup wise, my table was kind of like a fold out one, and like that's okay, but it looked like someone beat it with a hammer. There's a lot of dents and stuff in there, so moving the mouse was a little difficult. And then the trailer, anytime somebody walked, it was very shaky. It was like an earthquake was going on. So that was a little difficult, especially towards the beginning when everyone wanted to make sure everything was going well, and we had like 10 people walking in and out, and just everything's shaking. So I think going forward for Blizzard, I'd ask for a nice desk somewhere inside the convention center or on stable ground.
Yeah, I've heard from other observers and stuff, like talking with Mapu and Funka before, that like they always put the observers in like the trailer. It's always a little weird to me, and I have to assume it's like some technology reason or something. Like because that's also where they do like Katz was also working as like the backup observer, right? And he was pointing out like, oh, this is a good like play for the recap and all that stuff. So I assume that it had something to do with like needing those things, like the recap people, to be in that place or something. Do you have any idea why?
So I think the idea why is because all of production is inside of one trailer. Like almost all of production is in one trailer, and the observers were supposed to be in there, it seemed like. And then there wasn't enough room because there were so many people in there, so we had a second trailer that was just for observing. So it was just me and the backup observer, Miwa, just us alone in there, which makes me feel like there's probably a solution where it can be further away, because being next to the production team definitely isn't one of the reasons we were there.
Yeah, that makes sense. Well, moving forward away from BlizzCon and everything, what kind of stuff are you hoping to do? Because I know I've talked with you a little bit about like you want to get more involved in like different things. So what kind of stuff did you have in mind for what you want to try doing?
I mean, right now I love observing, so going forward to the next season, if there is one, I'm hoping to do that. Casting, I've been trying my hand at community casting on my channel. I'm not a fan of that.
Whose link is in the description, by the way?
Thank you. I'm very bad at talking, so I don't think I'll be doing any casting going forward. Really, anything behind the scenes I'd like to do. I'd like to help out with the community that provided me entertainment for 10 long years. If anybody has any opportunities for me or wants to collab on something, you can always reach out to me on Twitter or anywhere.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much. I don't want to take up too much of your time, but it was a pleasure to have you. Now, I want to give you a chance to do shout-outs, which kind of already did a little bit of, but shout-outs, and then you either have to pick. I make everyone do this. You can either tell everyone a fact that 95% of people don't know about you, or you can do a call-out. You can call someone out. Hotbid style.
Okay.
You can start with shout-outs.
I'm going to start with shout-outs. For shout-outs, I want to give a shout-out to Root Katz, because he gave me kind of a lot of the opportunities. He helped me meet a lot of the people that have helped me get the jobs at all these different things. So he's been very, very helpful in my StarCraft career. Shout out to you for interviewing me.
Aww. So sweet.
Shout out to the whole StarCraft community. A fact, 95% of people...
Oh, you're not going to do the call-out? You're not going to be like, I'm calling out the Overwatch community.
Not going to do a call-out.
Okay.
Fact. It's hard. I guess I'll go with the fact that I am semi-ambidextrous. Some things I do with my right hand, some things I do with my left hand, some things I can do with both hands.
You got to give examples or this gets weird.
Okay, examples. I can write better with my left hand. I could eat with either hand. I could do sports a lot better with my right hand.
You write, like, of all the things that I would have thought you were, like, someone was going to be less ambidextrous about, it'd be writing.
Yeah, my writing is kind of even-ish with both hands. My left is slightly better.
Gotcha. Huh, that is actually really interesting. Wait, what hand do you observe with your mouse with?
Right-handed.
Okay. That's really... Have you tried observing with or using a mouse with the left hand?
I have tried using my mouse with the left hand, and I didn't seem to make any difference. I've used right hand since I started using computers, so I just went back to that.
Dude, that's you're literally the only person I know who has ever said, like, I tried using my other hand for the mouse and it seemed about the same, so I was like, whatever. You are literally the only person on earth that's ever told me that before.
Maybe I should start using my left hand so that it's something unique.
Dude, you could actually, you know what you could do? If you just leave the production tab on, you could actually do picture-in-picture by observing with both hands on two different PCs. You could literally be the one-man picture-in-picture play guy.
That would be fantastic. We'll have to try that out.
All right. Well, thank you so much for coming on, and thank you guys for watching. We'll see you next time.